And Amana, in fact, I want to come to you first up. The argument seems to be hinging upon whether this is a fundamental practice, whether this is an essential part of Islam. As I mentioned earlier, the petitioner's lawyer has also talked about in court that this is an essential part in Islam. What do you think as a Muslim woman? You clearly don't wear the hijab.
Obviously, I don't wear the hijab, and I think it's a patriarchal symbol basically. आपके बहुत सारे कस्टम होते हैं, प्रैक्टिसेस होते हैं सोसाइटी में जिसको फॉलो किया जाता है, बट वक्त के साथ आपको ये बात समझ में आती है कि इसमें एक एम्बेडेड पैट्रियार्की है और एक प्रोग्रेसिव सोसाइटी की ये फर्ज होता है कि वो उन जो मासेस है उनको ये बात स्लोली समझाए कि ये जो आपके प्रैक्टिसेस हैं ये चेंज करने की जरूरत है। और ये हिजाब इसेंशियल पार्ट नहीं है इस्लाम का। पांच इसेंशियल पार्ट हैं, जो पिलर्स हैं, जिसमें नमाज, रोजा, हज, कुरान आते हैं, वो सबको पता है। तो द फनी थिंग इज दैट कि एक तरफ ये बोलते हैं कि हिजाब चॉइस है और दूसरी तरफ ये बोल रहे हैं कि ये मैंडेटरी है।
प्रिसाइसली, नो दैट्स अ गुड पॉइंट। आप कह रहे हैं चॉइस है, लेकिन ये भी आर्ग्यू कर रहे हैं कि ये मैंडेटरी है, और ये भी बता रहे हैं कोर्ट में कि मतलब कुरान में लिखा है या हदीस में लिखा है। प्रिया, आई वांट टू कम टू यू एज अ वुमन, you know, to be told inside the court of the law of the land that, you know, post menstruation women cannot do this or that. Now that may be a religious view, but can that dictate what the state does, and that too in a government school?
The specific issue on menstruation, of course, is a completely different one, but I'm saying this particular issue of hijab is a classic picket fence. I mean, you're sitting on something which has merit on many sides, concerns and understanding of diversity on many sides. But let me just take this response on two levels. One is as a concerned citizen, and second as a woman. So I have no desire to offend or to say something which is insensitive. But as a woman, I mean, I feel a strong sense of concern that, you know, how much of it is patriarchal, how much of it is something that is imposed on us. And I know that many people are very comfortable with the attire and actually want to, they feel more comfortable in that. And, you know, to that extent, I wear blue, you wear green, you know, we should be allowed to do what we can.
Sure enough.
The second thing is, so as a woman, I don't want to trivialize it. You know, I mean, I do understand this. My personal feeling is it tends to be, I feel it's a bit patriarchal, but at the end of it, it is my choice that I wear a bindi or you don't. You know, it's just too complicated and too simple.
But Priya, if I can come in, you have that choice in the public realm as an individual and as an adult. This is about students in a school. Nobody is saying that the hijab should be opposed outside of school, that you can't wear a bindi outside of school, that you can't wear a dupatta outside of school. The school is saying this is a school, we have a uniform.
Yes, right. But going back on that, I'm going to still stay with the point of the citizen. What we need to know is, even in school, I'm going to go back, and I graduated many, many years ago. Even in my class, which was a convent school, we had several people who came from different religions and wore a salwar kameez in the same uniform as we wore our skirts and shirts. So it happened even then. It was respectful even then. So there are, as long as the basic uniform is maintained, you know, there's some departures. And I also want to bring in that on the side that you mentioned, you know, the whole idea of a uniform is precisely that. It's creating commonality, it's creating ownership, it's creating, a sense of belonging, which is important. So yes, a uniform such as it is would be very important. So while I wore a skirt and brown and white check blouse, my neighbor wore a brown and white check blouse, but with loose trousers. I mean, that was what.
But that was mandated by the school, right? Isn't it, Priya? That was allowed by the school. No, the school gave that choice.
Yes, the school gave that choice.
Yeah.
So
can I add something?
Amana, I'm coming to you.
Yeah. My concern is this, that as a citizen, you know, this gets to be such a sensitive thing. What is essential religious act? Now you find the High Court is hoping that the public will, respond with calm and sense and things like that. Where is this all going to? As a person who's, you know, reasonably, I don't know where I really come from. I think of myself as Indian. I never think of myself as any religion. I think as a secular country, there are two aspects. One is we are a secular country. We need to respect and allow for differences. But yes, within that, a school is a little bit more difficult. Having said that,
no, exactly. See, I'll come to the larger issue in just a bit, but there are multiple things that are particular to this case. Now, in this case, it is about a school. It is about in a classroom. It is not about anywhere else. It is about uniformity. There is a reason. There is pride. There is uniformity. There is discipline associated with wearing uniforms till class 12. And then obviously in colleges that uniform is not there. All of this is for a reason, isn't it? And then this is also about what the state is saying, that individual institutions have the right to decide. In some colleges, for example, or schools, if they don't have a problem with hijab or any other element of, clothing, then it's okay. Please wear it there.
Right.
Agreed.
But in this institution, if this institution is saying, no, here we don't want it, then that's the point. Yes, Amana, you wanted to come in.
Yeah, I was just saying the choices, women can make choice and it could be bad and good. You can choose to, smoke cigarette, but it is not good for your health.
And the school won't allow it inside school, isn't it?
Yeah, अगर कहीं पे स्मोक फ्री जोन है तो आप वहाँ पे जिद नहीं कर सकते क्योंकि यहाँ पे ही स्मोक करना है. ऐसा नहीं है कि स्टेट एक लॉ लेकर आ रही है जहाँ पे हिजाब या बुर्का बैन हो रहा है. You can wear it wherever you want. बट आप स्कूल पे क्यों जिद कर रहे हैं? स्कूल एक जगह होती है जहाँ पे आप पढ़ने लिखने जाते हो, जहाँ आपको बाकी बच्चों से मिलना है, ना कि अपनी आइडेंटिटी जो है सर्च करने जाना है वहाँ पे. आप अगर यही सब चीजों में लगोगे तो आप कैसे आगे बढ़ोगे? और मुझे बहुत बहुत चिंता होती है मेरी कम्युनिटी के लिए कि एक तो खुद उनके जो आइडियाज हैं वो बहुत प्रॉब्लमेटिक हैं. देन जितने भी लिबरल्स हैं, एलीट्स हैं जो हिंदू सोसाइटी के, वो हमेशा हमारे जो कंजर्वेटिव एलिमेंट्स हैं उनको हमेशा आर्ग्यूमेंट उनके फेवर में करते हैं. ये बात मुझे बिल्कुल समझ नहीं आती है. अभी अशोक गहलोत ने एक कैंपेन चलाया है घूंघट के अगेंस्ट, और मैं कभी किसी को नहीं आर्ग्यूमेंट करते हुए सुनती हूँ कि घूंघट इज अ चॉइस और समथिंग लाइक दैट. बट यही जो इन्हीं के पार्टी के शशि थरूर है वो आकर के हिजाब के सपोर्ट में बोलते हैं. तो मुझे तो एज ए मुस्लिम विमेन ये बिट्रेयल लगता है कि क्यों नहीं जो हिंदू विमेन के लिए अच्छा है वही मेरी कम्युनिटी की औरतों के लिए अच्छा है. और ये बिट्रेयल शाहबानों के टाइम से चला आ रहा है और अब भी हमें ये लड़ने का मौका नहीं दिया जा रहा है. ये इशू होना चाहिए था जेंडर का, ये इशू होना चाहिए था इक्वालिटी का, मुस्लिम विमेन एम्पावरमेंट का, उनको समझाने का. बट इसे इशू बना दिया गया है कम्युनल पॉलिटिक्स का. मुझे बहुत ही अफसोस है ये सब देख करके.
मैं एक चीज और ऐड करूंगी कि आपने बात करी वो घूंघट के खिलाफ बोलते हैं. मैं तो ये भी कहती हूँ कि कुछ लोग बोल रहे हैं प्रिया कि लेट द वन under 18 as a minor, the state does decide a lot of things for you. And I am not saying that the state should decide whether the hijab should be allowed outside in public places or not. What I do in my home is still, something that the state gives me freedom for. But there are two things. Religious freedom has certain restrictions depending on the place, right? So let's say I have a certain religious belief, but I can't go to any particular spot and institution and say कि मैं तो यहीं करूंगी.
Yeah.
आप समझ रहे हो ना मैं क्या बोल रही हूँ? ऊपर से there are certain communities जिसमें बहुत सालों से ये प्रथा है या tradition है that they marry girls when they are young, under 18. अब कल को कोई community आके ये बोले that that it is the girl's choice. Let's say a 16-year-old says it is my choice to marry at 16. Will you allow it? No, regardless of what a religion says. And here in this case, when it comes to an institution, an educational institution, it's not like personal laws are even mandating this space. Even on issue of personal law, where minorities have their rights in India, in the case of instant triple talaq, the court said, on the principles of gender neutrality and justice, we cannot allow this. This is a much smaller matter than that. So, the right place has to be chosen for activism of this kind.